these SLUG reviews, I'm sometimes able to get them into solid trios that have a very notable theme. This time, less so. Alright, we're on to round 4 with our SLUG reviews now, and we got quite a few more to go, because I actually do want to review all the ones I have, because I do enjoy them and I think they're cool, and it's giving me a break from Masters of the Universe for just a little bit. However, sometimes I can't actually find a trio that really work that well together. This group I kind of just forced with each other because they can all kind of go with Americana and like old military history to a certain extent. But it's also just because, you know, sometimes you gotta just put a video out. Sometimes you just gotta make the review. So I guess this is kind of the compromised review, as it were. From SLUG, a 2010 toy line made by Jakks Pacific in the style of the old muscle figures, this is yet another trio of 2 zombies and 1 survivor. And I gotta say, this trio has some ups and some downs, and I think the best way to show you that is just to go through each and every one. A thing I mention a lot is that I actually don't have names for a bunch of these guys due to just how poor the archiving of their checklists were. This guy is the only one of the trio who I have a name for. He's Johnny Hammersticks. He's supposed to be a reference to the little drummer boy, and he came out in the Christmas wave, whereas the other guys I think came out probably in wave 5 or 6, one of the normal waves. And I gotta say, for the concept, I think they tried as best they could. My favorite thing about him actually is just how messed up the drum is. Like you can see, it's been burst here at the top, it's falling apart down here. The bones is drumsticks, that's fine. I do like the sculpting of the face, it's very gnarly. The only issue I really have with this guy is that he's so hard to keep balanced. He's the only SLUG minifigure who falls down on me constantly, and it's because of how bow-legged he is. This next guy I don't have a name for, but it's very clearly supposed to be a Davy Crockett wannabe. My favorite thing is that instead of a coonskin cap, he has a live squirrel just hanging on for dear life up there. I think that's great. And then, you know, I do like the sculpted detail of the rifle, but in all honesty, the survivors are the most boring part of this series to me, and this guy is probably the most boring survivor we've looked at so far because, I mean, yeah, that's it. With our last guy, I actually assumed it would be a pirate, but upon closer inspection, he's wearing a powdered wig. And looking at the jacket detail as well, I'm really thinking that this is supposed to be a French revolutionary, like someone under Napoleon, if not just George Washington, because it's probably just George Washington because Americans are boring and only do American history. But I do love that the cannonball went straight through and he's still going. Admittedly, this is a weaker trio for this toy line with one obvious highlight.